You are recognized.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So, for the record, this pre-bidding conference is conducted pursuant to Section 51 of the IRR of RA 12009. Also, you are informed that this proceeding is video recorded and live streamed in an official YouTube channel pursuant to Section 38 of the same IRR. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. The pre-bid conference for the following procurement projects with contract ID numbers 26ID 0009, 26ID 0010, 26ID 0011, 26ID 0012, 26ID 0013, 26ID 0014, 26ID 0015, 26ID 0016, and 26ID 0017 are hereby called to order at 10:09 in the morning, December 5, 2025 at DPWH Leyte District Engineering Office, Procurement Building, Bidding Room. Secretariat, please conduct the roll call.
Yes, Mr. Chair. So, as a matter of procedure, please respond with present and raise your hand once your name is called to acknowledge your attendance and to determine whether a quorum is established. So, for the Bids and Awards Committee, we have the chairperson, Mr. Mark Luis Visa Pilo,
Present.
the vice chairperson, Engineer Delphine L.O. Jr., regular members, Engineer Edwin K. Lansal, Engineer Binibici Orapa,
Present.
and Engineer Rinaldo Pinacera.
Present.
We also have provisional members, Engineer Rene Ian, and Engineer Abilina D. Mulabola. For the technical working group, we have the head, Engineer Mike J. Pilola, the assistant head, Engineer Jeffrey F. Ritana, members, Engineer Karen Joy G. Ramos, and Engineer Sam John C. Catolico.
Present.
For the secretariat, yours truly, Engineer Emmanuel Marie Sacro. We have BACSEC member for Civil Works and Consulting Services, Engineer Noel A. Cornetes, and the procurement staff, Engineer Azilan Becerra, Miss Maria de Vivian A. Loreto, Mrs. Remedios B. Ginguni, Mr. Mark Anthony Aguilia, and Mr. Carlos C. Diaz. For the observers, Mr. Chair, we have duly notified them in writing, but none attended in person. And we also have representatives from the implementing unit. We have Engineer Jose Ray Benji Lora from the Planning and Design Section, Engineer Judel Gabriel Sabilino, Engineer Jassy R. Gutierrez, Engineer Rosel C. Inocente, Architect Danis Kim Kadalin, and Engineer Inanti N. Asnan. So for this pre-bidding conference, Mr. Chair, 6 out of 7 members of the committee are present, hence the quorum is hereby declared. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. For the record, the bank is a political body composed of 7 members. In accordance with Section 42.2 and 42.3 of the IRR of RA 2009, a quorum consists at least 4 members, including the chairperson or in his or her absence, the vice chairperson, and the decision at least majority of those present at a meeting with quorum shall be valid and binding as an act of the bank. With the chairperson or the vice chairperson in presiding, voting only in case of a tie. The secretariat is directed to reflect all such decisions properly in the minutes, and the committee will follow the agenda as indicated in the pre-bid conference notice. Secretariat, please read the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So for today's pre-bidding conference, the following are the agenda. Number 1, call to order. Agenda 2, brief presentation and explanation by the BAC of the basic contract data, the requirements of the bidding documents, the documents to be submitted by the bidders, and the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, bid evaluation, post qualification, and award. Agenda 3 will be the questions or comments from our prospective bidders, the observers, the BAC, and the representatives of the implementing units. Agenda 4, other matters. Agenda 5, the summary of the proceedings, including any supplemental or bid bulletins to be issued, and thus is adjourned. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. May I hear a motion to adopt the agenda as written?
Motion to adopt agenda.
Any objection? There being no objection, the agenda is adopted. Before we proceed, may I emphasize that under Section 51 of the IRR of RE 009, the private conference is precisely the venue for prospective bidders to be clarified on the following requirements. Number one, the bidding documents. Two, documents that must be submitted by the prospective bidders and the criteria and procedures that will be applied. And we encourage the prospective bidders to raise their questions now or through written queries within the allowed period. At least 10 calendar days from the deadline of submission and receipt of bids, so that any material clarification will be issued to our official supplemental bid bulletin, which shall be part of the bidding documents. We now proceed to agenda 2. Let's start with contract ID number 26 ID 0009. The floor is given to the programmer of Center of Planning Design, Engineer Laura. You may proceed with the discussion.
Good morning. Good morning. For contract ID 26 ID 009, construction improvement of access roads leading to bridge and industrial economic south roads leveraging linkages for industry and bridge infrastructure program road in Anhawan-Himama-a to Bato-Bontoc road to support of agricultural industry. Bato-Leyte is located at Barangay Anhawan-Himama-a, Bato-Leyte. I present the contract description and scope. The general description is construction and rehabilitation of road. The major items for scope of work is construction of road, 3.5 kilometers, width is 5 meters, and the thickness is 230 mm or millimeters. And construction of line canal, 1,056 linear meter. Construction of RCBC, rifle barrel, 3 meters by 3 meters by 8 meters. And then construction of RCBC, 7 linear meters. For the upper budget for the contract for ABC, total ABC is 34,298,599 pesos and 15 centavos, inclusive all applicable taxes. The ABC is based on the approved program awards, market scoping, and applicable construction materials price data, CMPD, in the line with DPWH and RA 12009 rules. For the contract duration, the number of calendar days is 248 using the market rate and the district production rates, considering unworkable days and the live department orders. For the technical standards, the design and specification are based on the DPWH design guidelines, criteria and standards, DPCS, and other applicable standards as appropriate to the project. Further details can be found in the plans, specifications, and bidding documents which bidders are presumed to have read and examined. And that's all.
Thank you, Engineer Laura. The basic contract data are noted. We now proceed to the next project with contract ID number 26 ID 0010. The floor is given to Engineer Sabrino, planning design section. Proceed with this diagram.
Good morning, everyone. This is contract ID number 26 ID 0010. Construction of road and construction of road Barangay Odiongan, Abuyog, Leyte. Located at Barangay Odiongan, Abuyog, Leyte. So the general description is the construction of road at Barangay Leyte. Major items for this are listed as follows: port activity, and coastal protection. The approved budget for the contract is 4,889,950 pesos and 55 cents. And contract duration, the number of calendar days are 60 based on the DEO reports as of 2020. And that would be all.
Thank you, Engineer Sabrino. The basic of the data are noted. We now proceed to the next project, 26 IG 0011. The floor is given to Engineer Linkages. And you may proceed your discussion.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Engineer Jason DPWH Leyte, I'm here to present contract ID and society that is represented, wearing the name, contract name of Construction Group. Phase 2, Barangay Manlilisid to Barangay Naliwatan, Abuyog, Leyte. Major scope of work is construction of 33, 5-meter width PCCP with a total length of 1,246.4 linear meters or equivalent to 2.4928 kilometers. Also included in the scope of work is construction of reinforced concrete canal with a total length of 851.2 linear meters, and also construction of road slope protection with a total length of 624.04 meters, equivalent to 1,404.09 square meters of stone masonry with varying heights. And also 5 rows of RCPC with a total of 47 linear meters with varying diameters. And the total ABC arrived is 34,299,818 pesos and 64 centavos. And this ABC is based on the approved program of works with attached market scoping, and it's also based on the construction materials price data or the CUPD. And it's in line with the DPWH and RP laws with the line rules. Its contract duration is arrived is 138 calendar days. The programmer based this compensation on the O44 series of 2012. And for more details about this contract, it can be found in the plans and bidding documents. That's all.
Thank you, Engineer Linkages. Now proceed to the next project. Your
What is
device.
the biggest diameter?
According to the plan is 0.91. Yes, the other diameter is 0.61.
What is that same in diameter?
One for one, there is a station, and sa Tarong is 0.91, and the other four is 0.61 diameter.
Thank you.
To the back members, if you have questions, no, you may serve it, and you raise it under agenda 3. Thank you, Engineer Linkages. We now proceed to the next project with the ID number 26 ID 0012. The floor is given to Engineer Innocente. And we proceed with your discussion.
Construction of road, Barangay Caningag, Matalom, Leyte, which is located at Barangay, Matalom, Leyte. The main scope of work of the project is the construction of concrete road with a total length of 0.582 kilometers, a total width of 5 meters, shouldering of 1 meter each side. Project begins at exactly 40 meters after the end stationing of the previous the reason for this is to prioritize the construction of close drainage at the profile low point or PVP and 40 meters length of snow protection to stabilize the maximum near the cross drainage. The total APCRI is 4,949,880 pesos and 69 centavos, inclusive of all applicable taxes. APC is based on the approved program of works, market scoping, and applicable construction materials price data or APP, and in line with DPWH RA 1209. The number of calendar days is 55 calendar days, and it is based on the Department Order number 44, series of 21. Further details can be found in the plans, specifications, and
Thank you. Do you want to say anything? I will now proceed. The next project with contract number 26IG 0013. The floor is given to Engineer Asnat from Planning Design Section.
For contract ID number 26IG0018, the project name construction road, Barangay San Sotero, Leyte, located at Barangay San Sotero, Leyte, Leyte. The major scope of works for these projects are: 1. Construction of 0.79 km or 395 linear meter with a 5 linear gate and 0.23 linear gate. Second, spreading and compacting of agreement surface course at 0.20 meter thickness with a quantity of 599 cubic meters. And thus is laying and construction of road cross-bridges reinforced concrete multiple bird RCPC with a total length of 14 linear meter, also including stone support for each corresponding outlet connection. For the approved budget of the contract, the total amount is 4,949,526 pesos and 45 centavos, inclusive of all applicable taxes. The PVC is based on the approved program of works, market scoping, and applicable construction materials price data was in line with DPWH and RA 1209 works. For the contract duration, the number of calendar days is 60 days, computed based on Department Order 44 series of 2012. For the technical standards, the design and specifications are based on DPWH design guidelines, criteria, and standards, and other applicable standards as applied to the project. For further details, you will refer to the approved design plans, specifications, and building documents.
Thank you, Engineer Asnat. We now proceed to the next project. We contract ID number 26IG 0014. The floor is given to Engineer Cornites. Engineer Cornites, may you proceed.
In behalf of Engineer Manlilisid, contract ID is ID 0014, road widening, Tertiary roads, Paz-Javier-Bito road, kilometer 0964 plus 224 to kilometer 0964 plus 540, kilometer 0970 plus 317 to kilometer 0970 plus 784. Its project location is located at Barangay Poblacion Zone 1 and Barangay Naliwatan. Its major scope of work is construction of 1.214 lane kilometers, road widening with a width of 3.35 sides, including shoulders, and also construction of 200 linear meters of snow protection, 467 linear meters of reinforced concrete canal, and also extension of the existing box culvert with a dimension of 2.4 by 3 meter box. And also installation of vectorized thermoplastic payment markings throughout the span of the project. Total contract duration is 149 calendar days. Arrived using the DEO 44 series of 2012. And also design are based on design DPWH design guidelines, criteria and standards, DPCS. For more details about the project, it can be found in the plan attached. That's all.
Thank you. Your committees, basic contract data and audit. We now proceed to the next project. With contract ID number 26ID0058. The floor is given to engineer or architect Tagalog of the Barangay Science. We proceed.
For contract ID number 26LG0015 with a contract name of construction of multi-purpose building located at Barangay Zone 1, City of Baybay, Leyte. For contract description as well, this project includes the full completion of the following facilities: covered court with stage, toilet for male and female. The major scope of works covers all necessary concrete works and roofing works required to complete the structure. The total floor area of the structure is 606 square meter. For the approved budget of the contract, we have 9,899,995.66. The EPC is based on the program of works, market scoping, and applicable construction material price data in line with DPWH and RE 12009. For contract duration, we have 240 calendar days, and for the technical standards, the design specifications are based on DPWH design guidelines, criteria, and standards, and other applicable standards which are National Structural Code of the Philippines and National Building Code of the Philippines as appropriate to the project. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Architect Tagalog. The basic contract data and audit. Secretariat, please take note of the ABC, and we will tackle it with the other agenda trade. Thank you, Engineer Secretariat. We now proceed to the next project. We contract ID number 26ID0016. The floor is given to Engineer Gutierrez from the Planning Science Section, and we will proceed to the discussion.
Good morning. For contract ID number 26ID0016, construction of bypass and diversion roads, Javier Bypass Road, Barangay Anhawan-Himama-a, located at Barangay Paz-Javier-Bito. Major scope of works: construction of 600 linear meter scope protection structure with barring heights, placement and compaction of embankment materials with a 200 millimeter thick compacted gravel road on top, and a 3x3 meter single barrel reinforced concrete box culvert with a total length of 35 meters. Approved budget for the contract is 29,200,938 pesos and 96 cents. Contract duration is 139 days, based on DEO 44 series of 2012. And the design and specifications are based on DPWH design guidelines, criteria, and standards.
Thank you, Engineer Gutierrez. The basic contract data needed. Secretariat, please take note of the ABC, and we will tackle it under agenda 3. We now proceed to the last project, which contract ID number 26ID0017. Again, the floor is given to Engineer Gutierrez. We proceed to the discussion.
For contract item number 26 ID 00217, construction of bypass and diversion roads. Kingdom Bypass Road, Barangay Tagibi, Construction 1 and Construction Block Leyte. Located at Barangay Tagibi, Construction 1 and Construction Block Leyte. The bidder scope of works, construction of a 4-lane Portland cement concrete pavement with reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings. Color is white. Thickness of PCCB is 300 millimeters. And a total length of 835 meters. Giving a total of 3.34 lane kilometers. Construction of a median comprising a 600 long concrete curb painted with a 200 millimeter thick PCCB laid parallel to the curb. Then an existing 2,086-meter long concrete curb will also be painted. Lastly is a 55-meter long 3 by 3 meter single barrel reinforced concrete box holder. Approved budget for the contract is 59,998,000 pesos and 52 cents. Contract duration is 132 calendar days based on DEO 44 series of 2012. And the design and specifications are based on the DPWH design guidelines, criteria, and design guidelines.
Thank you, Engineer Gutierrez. Thank you for that. Secretariat, please take note of the receipt. I will upload it to the agenda 3. We now proceed to the requirements of the bidding documents. For agenda 2B, the Secretariat and DWG will walk us through the structure and main contents of the bidding documents. Structure to bidders, general and special condition of the contracts, specifications, drawings, bill of quantities, and forms. Secretariat, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So first, the bidding documents, as posted, is composed of Section 1, the invitation to bid. Section 2 is the instruction to bidders. It details how the bid should be prepared, the requirement of the bid validity, the bid security as a general. And then Section 3 is the bid data sheet. So for the bid data sheet, this will supplement the instruction to bidders. So these are specific requirements for each project. So to highlight, the required pickup license for each project is under ITB Clause 5.4 of the bid data sheet. And then the minimum key personnel, the minimum major equipment requirement, including the laboratory testing equipment, the approved budget for the contract, the required bid security, which is either in BSD or any form enumerated in the bid data sheet. Also, the deadline for the submission is incorporated and all indicated in the bid data sheet. So, for our prospective bidders, please review the bid data sheet. After the bid data sheet, we have Section 4, which is the general conditions of the contract. So, indicated here are the obligations of the contractor to the procuring entity, the performance security, liquidated damages, and all other contractual related terms. To supplement the GCC, we have the special conditions of the contract. So these are site-specific or project-specific requirements for each contract. Then we have Section 6, the specifications for each project. Section 7, the drawing. So we have attached or specified there the Google Drive link for each approved plans for reference of our bidders. And then Section 8, the bill of quantities for each project. And then Section 9, the Philippine bidding documents related form. So to our prospective bidders, please take note that we have already issued supplemental bid bulletin, supplemental bulletin number 26-0000-01, which we will detail in Agenda 3 on other matters. So far that's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Secretariat. We proceed to Agenda 2C, the documents to be submitted by the bidders. The bidding documents contain the complete checklist of required documents. For this conference, we will highlight the main components of the technical and financial proposals and give emphasis to sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership. DWG, please proceed.
Mr. Chair, for the technical proposal, first we will these that contain one valid registration certificate containing membership, all pages current and updated in accordance with the IRR. Two, statement of all ongoing contracts, government and private, including contracts awarded but not yet started, whether similar or not to the contract to be bid. Three, statement of single largest completed contract, SLCC, for the required similar experience as specified in the bid data sheet, with supporting documents such as notices, certificate of completion, acceptance, etc. Four, original copy of bid security in acceptable form and amount valid for the period prescribed in the bidding documents. Five, project's requirements. This includes the contractor's organizational chart of the contract, list of key personnel to be assigned to the contract with their qualification data and licenses, list of major construction and laboratory equipment indicating whether owned, under lease, or under purchase commitment, latest general information sheet GIS reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission in accordance with its annual reportorial requirements, that is for corporation, and sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership accomplished using the form prescribed attached in the bidding documents, that is in section 9 of Philippine bidding documents related form, duly notarized the Security and Exchange Commission in accordance with its annual reportorial requirements. Number 6, original duly signed omnibus sworn statement or OSS using the prescribed form. 7, original notarized secretary's certificate for corporation, partnership, and cooperative, or a special power of attorney for sole proprietorship and joint venture, authorizing the signature to sign the bid of an OSS, sworn disclosure, and other bid documents. Number 8, the bidder's computation of net capacity contracting the net financial contracting capacity or NFC, supported by the required financial statement and bank reference, following the formula in the bidding documents. And last, the joint venture agreement in accordance with RA 4566 for duly notarized statement from all prescribed prospective GP partners that they will enter into and abide by the provision of the joint venture agreement in the event of a successful bid.
For financial proposal or second resolution between others, first, the design and accomplish financial need for second, the original design need for accessibility to the funding group, which is all required items of pricing in accordance with the documents. Duly accomplish detailed experience forms, including examples between persons and materials, reports, and documents in the writing and cash flow recorder for the entire contract duration. Readers are reminded that there are different steps will be applied in accordance with the rules set out in the bidding documents. Financial proposals must be consistent with the technical proposal and other reasons or relations properly countersigned and is not contradicting the documents. That's all.
Thank you. Now proceed to Agenda 2D. The DPWH will summarize the criteria and procedure that the bank will apply for eligibility checks, preliminary examination, mutual evaluation of fees, post-qualification and award under RA 12009 and its IRR, the bidding agreements. And in addition, we will briefly explain the three-strike policy under DPWH Department Order number 28 series of 2024, which the department now strictly implements in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services. DPWH, may proceed.
For eligibility check and preliminary examination. The eligibility and completeness of these will be determined on a strict pass or fail basis based on the documents of technical and financial requirements. If any required documents is missing, identification or improperly executed, the bid may be fail these things in accordance with the IR for detailed evaluation of bids, this contract, the award criterion is lowest calculated responsive bid as specified in the bidding agreements. For lowest calculated rated bid, the bank will perform arithmetic corrections and evaluate the bid prices. Then the bids are then ranked to determine the lowest calculated bid. For post qualification, the bidder with LCB will undergo post qualification. The DPWH will verify, validate, and ascertain the usefulness, efficiency, and authenticity of all submitted documents, statements including SCC, NFCC, disability and free personnel and labor equipment, validity and authenticity of licenses, registrations, and tax clearances, and accuracy of the smart disclosure accommodations, and beneficial ownership. Any material to this application or quantity may be resolved in disqualification, limitation of blacklisting, or suspension, and other legal consequences. For award and contract signing, if the bidder passes post qualification, the bank will recommend award to the end of the procuring entity within the period prescribed in the INR bidding agreements. The notice of award, posting of performance security, contract signing, and issuance of the notice to proceed will then follow the prescribed timelines and the requirements of the RA 009, its IRR, and applicable DPWH and DPP responses. In addition, for the prescribed policy, apart from the results of each individual bid, pass or fail, bidders are reminded that DPWH implements prescribed policy under Department Order number 28 series of 2024, covering the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services. In general terms, strikes are recorded against the bidder for specified offenses or violations in procurement proceedings, as defined in Article 28 and its implementing guidelines, such as unjustifiable failure or refusal to enter into contact or to submit the required performance security after a valid award. Repeated submission of patent integration or non-compliant bid documents without justifiable cause. Proving material misrepresentations in are documented and consolidated in the DPWH Central Office. With the future accumulates three similar or related strikes within the relevant one-year period, this may lead to the issuance of the department orders suspending the leader from participating in DPWH procurements in accordance with DEO 58 and related uplisting of suspicion guidelines.
Thank you. That concludes the presentation of the criteria, procedure for eligibility, evaluation, post-qualification, and award, including the three-strike policy. We now proceed to Agenda 3. Under Agenda 3, we open the floor for questions and comments from the leaders. Again, we stress that under Section 59 of the IRR of Article 009, this free conference is primarily for you to be clarified on the requirements. Kindly state your name and company, refer to the specific section or page of the meeting documents if possible. We will respond through the MAP, DPWH, or end user. Any clarification that changes or refines the requirements will be issued in the supplemental bulletin. Until and unless the supplemental bulletin is issued and posted, the posted meeting documents shall not be amended. The floor is now open. Engineer Malabula, you are recognized.
So I would like to clarify the contract I will do as revised in
900
but we like to do 998
398 daw. 398 daw.
DPWH, please respond. Vidaya, please speak out of the ABC.
Yes, Mr. Chair. So we will include this in our or the supplemental bulletin to be issued later.
Thank you. Chair Dana, do you have questions? Are you recognized?
Mr. Chair, in 26 ID 7015, dealing of the is topographic quantity of bearing and grabbing. Quantity reflector is 6.84, it should be 684.
24 mas.
Please note. Dana?
Mr. Chair, can engineer repeat it in the record?
20.5.
Contract ID
0.5.
15.
Contract ID 26 IG 0015.
Wala niya. Item 6.
Item 801.
6.84.
684. Also, Mr. Chair, in item 900, 1C.
901C.
It should be 177.47.
47.47.
It's noted.
And also in 1014, 1D2. 1014, 1D2. No, the description, there should be no close parenthesis. Open parenthesis.
Tama lang.
Tama lang.
Tama.
Baka tanggalin daw itong ano.
That's all for 26IG 0015. And also, Mr. Chair, in 26IG 0017. Under page 412. 412. It should be 411. Close parenthesis 2. 411. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Any questions? You have? Secretariat.
I guess, Mr. Chair, just information to our prospective bidders. So, for the record, we have already issued supplemental bulletin number SB 26-0000-01 regarding the change in the requirement sworn disclosure of relations, Mr. Chair. The Sun Office just recently issued a memorandum specifying that the sworn disclosure of relation or the sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership should be under the project requirements. So we have issued that supplemental bulletin to amend the bidding documents, and also aside from the affidavit for all bidders, in case of corporations, they must submit their latest general information sheet reflecting the beneficial ownership information, which must be duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission. And also we specify there that non-submission or submission of an out-of-date or incomplete GIS or sworn affidavit should be ground for rejection of their bid. Also, in the same supplemental bulletin, we have attached the standard template from the central office. We provided there a link for the bidders to access. And then we also revised the checklist to align with the said memorandum, Mr. Chair. So, also for the information of our prospective bidders, the audited financial statement under 12009 is not anymore within 2 years from bid submission, but your latest AFS for the taxable year. So meaning, considering that this year is 2025, you should already have your 2024 AFS, and it must be updated in your Philippine Certificate of Registration. And lastly, Mr. Chair, these projects are still under early procurement activity. So our prospective bidders should take note of that, okay? Because maybe there might be changes once the General Appropriations Act is approved. I think that's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Secretariat. For the record, that clarification will be reflected as appropriate in the supplemental bid bulletin. Please note that only the written supplemental bid bulletin will modify or formally clarify the bidding documents. Proceed to agenda 3. Are there any further questions, especially on the checklist of documents the sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership, the evaluation and qualification process, including the three-strike policy. There are no further questions. We proceed to agenda 4. Other matters? Any matters from the bank members? From the technical working group? From the secretariat?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually, I already mentioned that in Agenda 3, so I will not anymore reiterate regarding the DFS. But a reminder for the back, we have already posted a notice of posting for request of quotation yesterday. So the opening of quotations will be on December 11th at 9 a.m. for 2 goods and services projects. Also, Mr. Chair, schedule for our deliberation of this evaluation report for 25 IG 0086 to 89 is scheduled on December 10th. So we will deliberate on the evaluation report of the technical working group for purposes of conducting the post-qualification thereafter. And with all the comments of our technical working group, Mr. Chair, we will be issuing supplemental bid bulletin 26-00002 and other supplemental bulletins to cover the corrections mentioned by the technical working group. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Secretariat. We proceed to agenda 5. The Secretariat will summarize the key points discussed and indicated in the supplemental bid bulletins that will be issued.
So for the record, Mr. Chair, the following were taken up during this pre-bidding conference. So the basic contract data was discussed by the representatives from the implementing unit. The bidding documents, the structure was discussed, and including any other requirements were discussed by the Secretariat and the Technical Working Group. The criteria and procedure was also discussed by the Technical Working Group, including the three-strike policy. And for the record, there are no prospective bidders in person or observers. So if we have any clarifications on any part of the bidding documents, then we submit the same in writing at least 10 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. And then supplemental bulletins. We have issued again SB 26-000-01, and we will also issue another supplemental bulletin for the corrections found or typographical errors found by the technical working group during this pre-bidding conference. So we stress that only supplemental bulletins that is posted or duly posted will modify the bidding documents. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Secretariat. Are there any corrections or additions to the summary of opinions? So there being no corrections, the summary of opinions is noted for the record. We proceed to agenda 6. There being no other matters for discussions. May I motion to adjourn this previous conference? See that? Any objection? Hearing none, this private conference is hereby adjourned at 11 in the morning, December 5, 2025.